Morning, it's Uncle Joe with Uncle Joe Hikes. Well, things didn't go quite like I envisioned last night. I'm up here at Wilson. Actually, Wilson Gap is technically around the corner, but for lack of a better term, Wilson Gap. And the Bartram Trail's right over there. We're going to hit that today. And brought old Silver out here. I've been making some modifications. And one of them is this awning, CVT awning. And came up here last night, camped, got here, and I had put my sleeping bag way down in the bottom of my camping box, and I was like, man, I don't know where my sleeping bag is. Thankfully, I had my top quilt, or my bottom quilt rather, for my hammock, so I just crawled into the back of the truck and laid everything out flat and slept there. Not good because I'm nursing this bad shoulder, but I was able to sleep. And I got up this morning. I'm making some breakfast and coffee, and here in just a bit we'll get up and get packed, dressed for a trail, and see if we can't knock out about 5.5 miles each way. So it's gonna be a long day, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, old Silver's locked up, and we are getting ready to hit the trail. We got to walk right up there and then take a ride. Testing out the new wireless Go from Rode. So it's right here on my chest. So you're supposed to be more inconspicuous with those things, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. I just want to see how it's going to do. So I'm stopping the video there because I mentioned that I was using the Rode Wireless Go. You can see it clipped to my chest strap throughout this entire video, and you can see that it does work. It's metering, which is what I used to check to see if it was working on the trail. Unfortunately, what was not happening is the audio was not making it down to the GoPro. And it wasn't because I didn't have it plugged in. I use a media mod, and there's a plug for it. The problem is I record in quick capture, which is where you can just press the record button and it will quickly power on the GoPro, record until you press record again. And I live by that. That's how I record. I posted online that I had a problem recording from an external mic, and somebody said, hey, are you using quick capture? Well, as it turns out, there may very well be a bug there. So when I got home, I upgraded the software on the GoPro, and I'm going to do some more testing. But just be aware, the rest of this hike, this is basically just uselessly sitting on my chest. I did learn one thing. There's been some issues of these little dead kittens, if you will, popping off. Rode did a redesign, and it seems to be holding, and it held up the entire hike. So that's one thing I did learn, but I didn't learn what I wanted to learn, which is how does all this sound. So we'll have to do another hike and test it out again. It gives us another excuse to hike. I mean, you know, maybe if you need one. So that's what we're going to do another hike, see how it goes. In the meantime, enjoy this video, and just know that the audio is coming through the forward-facing mic on the media mod, which is still pretty good, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Anyway, we are going to head down here. We got about 6/10 of a mile before we get to the where this dirt road crosses again, and then from there it's all trail. There's certainly lots of sassafras on this segment. As I recall, sassafras will probably be one of the first underbrush plants that'll go in, drop their leaves and go, but they got a few more weeks, so they're hanging out. We can see some here and here. Big bush right there. Plenty of it. We're still making our way to that road crossing, so following our yellow blazes. All right, we've come to the road. It's closed from there on, which is interesting because on maps that goes down a good ways. You can see where water's come down. Look at this sand. It's crazy. Water coming down this hill, and it's just bringing debris with it. Looks like somebody's been in here on a motorcycle. Well, yeah, that's the border to the management area. Of course, there's our trail, so This would have been a great place to camp if you can get down in here. But it's washed out in a couple of places up there. And it looks like we got another trail back here that I've know nothing about. But oh, okay. That's the horse trail that I think will take you down toward Darnell Creek. So, yeah, if you're horseback riding, this would be a good place to come up in here and camp. Well, right after I finished filming, some runners came through. They're heading up. I could hear them coming. Lady was talking. I could hear for a while. I thought they were coming down the dirt road, but they started coming through the trail there. And they ran from Rabun this morning. But technically they ran from Begum, which means they had to climb up Rabun, then come on this way. Gonna be a long way, going all the way to Courthouse. So, yeah, they got 10-mile morning, 11, give or take, running. But if I'm running, you better start. That's all I'm saying. Something going on. All right, we're gonna head on out. So, right back there gets a little bit growed over, and you come through a creek. There were some runners there, younger folks that were heading back the other way. It's beautiful down in there, but the GoPro struggles with stabilization in that low light area. The sun's, it's only about 10, so the sun's not really up high. I need to figure out what a good ISO, I guess, or a white balance would be, and set up a custom profile for when I'm in places like that. My fear is that I'm just going to forget to switch over to it. So lots to learn there, but yeah, we're moving on though. We've got some waist high, hip high stuff here, but for the most part it's staying out of the way. You can still make out the trail, which is what matters. Yeah, not a lot of flora, a lot of fungi, plenty of mushrooms, but not much in the way of flowers. The ones that are left are tiny. Trying to get pictures when I can. You can see there we're getting a lot of encroachment, and light's not really good under here, but good thing I treated my clothes yesterday. That's all I can say. So everything's freshly treated. But yeah, it's getting growed over, but then it'll just open up and be clear as a bell. So the morning light coming through has just been really, really nice. It's nice to get out here and get an early start. Early! And yeah, that's nice. Get up. You're right here at the trail. That's kind of what I'm working on with old Silver, is kind of building an overlanding rig so that I can get up here, even if it's late at night, get up in here, get camp set up, and then get an early start in the morning. Sitting down taking a break. Just had a couple coming through with a dog. Pretty dog. They look familiar. I've probably seen them hiking before. They just both look really familiar. He had a big pack, so clearly they're spending the night. They're on their way to Rabun, so they should be fine. Yeah, take a little break here, and then, excuse me, start making our way. We're about 2.25 miles from Courthouse. So we'll get down to Courthouse, take us a lunch break, and then start making our way back. Looking at the, I'm looking at the Nat Geo map, which is old, but it looks like we're going to whip around here. I think it says Rock Mountain, and then we're going to kind of go down a ridge, and then it looks like we got some switchbacks, which means we're going down. So we knew we were going to have to descend, and then descend all the way down to Courthouse Gap, because I think Courthouse Gap is probably a good 800 feet or so lower than Wilson. That means climbing coming back. Oh. Well, you look through that tunnel, that's a good sized tree right there. At least down at the base. I think good size. Yeah. Hey, big old feller. Big old feller. Got a little hole at the bottom. There he is. So we started down this series of switchbacks here. And that means we must be out on that tongue. Heading down. Yeah, getting closer and closer. It's not been a bad hike. Even the climbs have not been real steep. I got a feeling the drop into Courthouse Gap is probably going to be pretty steep, which will mean we have to climb back out. But it's barely noon, so not making the best time, but you know, it is what it is. It's been a little bit hilly, but not too bad. Well, we've come to a little gap here. Oh, nice rock to sit on. A little fire ring trail hooks on that way. We may go ahead and sit down a spell. We're still making our way Courthouse Gap. Should be getting there pretty quick. Got this long straightaway. It's nice and for the most part level, which is nice, but I don't know, we may have a serious drop getting into the gap. I just don't know yet. Cicadas are hollering. We've heard some woodpeckers too. Big guys. I mean, they were making big noise. All right, should be there soon. Well, it took a little bit of work, but we made it to Courthouse Gap. Here we are. Here's the trail down to the parking area. That goes up to Pinnacle Knob, Warwoman Dell. And it's 10.5 miles back to Raven Gap. We need a break. Give me a break. Well, put it off long enough. It's time to be heading back, leaving the gap here, and yeah, make our way. Not relishing this climb right here, but if I can get back to where that one rock was I sat on, I know from there on it's not terrible. Just getting up there to it. Not looking forward to it either. But you gotta get back to the truck. Gotta get back to old Silver. It's been sitting there waiting on you. Here we go. Up the hill. So yeah, all along through here you can see where something's, or a bunch of somethings have been tearing up the ground. I don't see any real like snout. Usually there's a snout condition if it's hogs. This might even be turkeys, because they're just basically just pulling the duff back. So could be a group of turkeys moved in here. I don't know. Ain't tired out though. Sadly, the camera will probably not pick this up, but I totally missed this coming in. There's a cliff and a bunch of rocks behind that, all that vegetation. You can see going way up there. It's just almost like a cliff wall. Pretty amazing. Surprised nobody's built a trail. See, that's the kind of place your trail needs to go when you're building a trail. Always bring your trail to your features. I think it was Woody Keene who told me that one time. Told a bunch of us when we were consulting with him on some trail. He's like, always bring your trail where the features are. That's only going to be seen in the winter time. It's kind of a shame. It'd be nice if the trail had gone up along the bottom of that. Would have been beautiful looking up at that wall. But yeah, you can still see a little bit, but There we go, yeah. Some rock there, but it continues on behind a little bit. But it really gets big that way. Man, would have been nice. That's what it is. Come back in the winter time. Yeah, come back in the winter time. You'll be able to see that wall. Sweat's coming off of this hat. Like nobody's business. It's just dripping down like a faucet or something. And I've been down. Anyway, we're almost to our rocks here where we were sitting before, so looking forward to taking another break. That sure was a big tree that come down. Look at there. And you have nothing on the inside. There's our rocks. Time for a break. I need it too. Alright, we're back at Wilson Gap. That's where we left the runners earlier. I was surprised at the number of people that we passed today, actually. Here we go. Wilson Gap. War Woman's 8.5. Ravens 5.6. We're going to shave off 0.6 of that. Head straight on over. Looking forward to getting old silver. We're back. Just barely see silver over there. Here we are. And that is that. Get back to old silver. Give me something to drink that's cold. Hopefully nobody broke in and got my $6 million man thermos. That sure would suck. Well, almost Wilson Gap to Courthouse Gap done. That was a long slog. Not terribly bad climbing wise. Just distance and in my current condition. My current condition being tubby. It was hard. It was good. I got to sleep out here and test out my new awning, so that was nice. And yeah, we're gonna get loaded up and out of here and see if we can't find something to eat. Oh yeah.